Hey everybody, so this is going to be a little different kind of video for me. So we are checking out Father's Day gift, and I want to show you some of the new gifts that I got, both non-tech, kind of to that crazy side of me that just loves books and all things analog, and then also talking about some of the tech-related things that my family bought me for Father's Day. And we're going to unbox those, so you'll see some cutaways and some different things. I'm trying out some different camera angles. Let me know down in the comments what you think, and let's go ahead and get started. All right, everybody, so why am I doing this video? I'm doing it for a couple of reasons. One, because I really just enjoy trying to do some different things with this creative process and figuring out different ways of communicating and just having a little bit more fun with it. And we're still in the study. This is still my same setup. You'll see over here, I've got my Google Home, got my levitating globe, and then I've got my bookshelf off over here. The main thing, though, is I needed something for these larger items to be able to show you kind of what's in the package a little bit easier than my top-down camera over here. Now, when we move to some of the smaller items, we'll move over to there later. But let me walk through first the couple of the things that I received. So a couple of my non-technical things. I received I Am Spock by Leonard Nimoy. So what I'm hoping is a very good book. It's an autobiography of him, and it was written in 1995. So looking forward to that. And I also received Franklin and Washington. So Franklin and Washington, kind of biographies of both people, contemporaries at the time, but you don't see a lot of them being compared and what their relationship may have been. You hear a lot about some of the other founding fathers, but this one I think is going to be really cool. So those are the two books that I received. Now, as far as the technology, and this is where it gets kind of cool for what we're doing here, I got the Contour Shuttle Pro V2. So most of you know I've been using the small Contour Shuttle Express, and I actually love that little device for as few buttons as it has. It's my go-to for video editing. The cogwheel works very well. The shortcuts that you can program through DaVinci works very well. The biggest piece on this is that there are so many more buttons and customizations you can do to really make it so that I'm not having to use my mouse as much to do some of that editing on the back end. So, you all know I talk about productivity, I talk about organization. This is going to make me much more productive when I'm going to edit video. And that's whether it's for work, for school and teaching, or whether it's for these videos like this one here. But really excited about this. And then that was from Melissa and the kids. The kids each got me one of the books. And then Melissa and the kids also got me, and this is one of the things that we'll unbox here in just a minute, a video lighting kit. So all these things will be listed and linked down in the description, and they'll be on the Things I Use page. I'll get into more detailed analysis later, but just wanted to kind of show you what the actual pieces were. And then the last thing that I got was from Trey, and it's two parts. At first, I thought it was just one, but it ended up being two things. And that is the Elgato Master Mount and the Flex Arm. So both of these things are going to be really cool with the way that I've rearranged the desk, and we'll do a tour of that at some point when we talk about these specifically. I can see being able to maybe replace some of the mechanics that I have on the edge and the surrounding desk with this one tool. And that's going to be really helpful. And when I open up this box, and I did pre-open these, so I already cut the tape. I haven't taken anything out, but I cut the tape so that it would be easier when it came time, or at least I thought it would be, to get all of this out. They did buy me the 2-pack, which is really cool. So you'll see here are the LED panels. And this is NiceVeedi L, I think is the exact name of this. So a very nice, I'll try and zoom in a little bit here too in post so you can see these a little clearer, but really cool. So you've got your mounting bracket here, you've got your nice white LED panel here. These also do change colors. So as we push these into the space and try and figure out the best way to get these set up, and of course they'll plug in via USB to my Anchor dock, and that should make for a pretty good experience. We'll go ahead and pull out our second panel here. And again, you can see that USB connector and the actual light controls right there. So we get our two panels, our nice kit. So it says NiceVeedi, so Veedi, NiceVeedi, video light kit. So these are standalone panels that can be plugged in, taken one at a time. It's got a nice carrying pouch. So this is a nice extra added benefit. If I wanted to take this on the go and set up a mobile shoot somewhere, maybe I was having an interview with someone and I wanted to use the lavalier mics like I'm using right now to have that back and forth, this would be a really good way to do that. And let's see what else we've got. It looks like here there's actually some more dongles, so you can go up to USB 3, it looks like here, and they're USB-C adapters. So you get USB-C adapters as well, which is always nice, especially when you're dealing with multiple ports like I am, and I may need to have some other things going on. And then it looks like we may have some phone mounts here, which would be really awesome. Yeah, so you actually have phone mounts that you can mount to the actual key lights to really make this a portable and really cool little package. And then of course you can attach that via there and clamp it down. So that's nice, and you get two. So the idea being that you could have, if you were again using a lavalier mic setup, you could have these pointed in two different directions, and you could have one person with one camera, maybe using two phones, and they'd have their own dedicated light to make sure they were well lit, while the other person would have the other light with the phone stand. And then here are the actual tripods themselves. And these are very nice looking tripods. So we'll pull this up. Yeah, these are very sturdy. One thing I'll say about this is these are very light on the panels, and they're plastic, and there's nothing wrong with the plastic at all. They've got metal brackets. Obviously, you can put them in either this orientation or the horizontal orientation, and then you can attach other things to them. And then here is the tripod. Now this tripod is metal, very sturdy. And you'll notice you've got the central bracket here and then three extenders plus the ability to rotate this. So this could get pretty high if you extend these all the way up. And I'm not going to go all the way, but well, actually I will. There you go. And so that gets pretty high, you can see. And then, of course, you adjust your legs, make sure that you're in the right dimensions and right space. But pretty cool overall in the way that this works. And then you've got here this slide bracket that can go up and down as well as the adjustment here too. So a lot of different ways. I'm going to have to play with this. This is something that we'll get set up and we'll do kind of an after to show you what this looks like. But I think that overall, the setup on these so far has been really easy to get them out of the box and to begin to think about what they look like. Because this is an unboxing, but what we will do is probably jump in and have this be my only light source with a phone like I've got it set up right now, just to see what the difference may be between the two. From this side, you're getting some natural light and the Edison lamps that I have. And from this side, you're getting our family room, living room lights, our living room lights that are coming in and hopefully lighting me up decent. I may have to do some post-production on this, but it's definitely not the best lighting conditions. And so at some point, I think we'll set these up and we'll do that the other way to show what they are. And just real quick, before I leave this, I move all of this out of the way because I want to look at the Elgato arm. But I know that a lot of companies get taken to task for launching with USB-A to USB-C. And I just want to kind of defend that decision for a minute. These USB-C adapters, I think, are a much better way to handle that particular thing. I get the USB-C is the standard now, and that most newer laptops are launching with C inputs. But there's also a lot of equipment out there, and especially even the docks. My Anchor dock has a lot of USB-A connectors. And if you don't have those USB-As, there's going to be equipment that you're going to have to replace. You're going to have to go out and buy your own USB-A to C connectors and compatibility. So these manufacturers, if they're launching just A to C, I think, yes, that in and of itself might be an issue. But if they're launching and they do like this company did, which is add the adapters for you, they're really giving you all of the best options. They're giving you the best of both worlds because regardless of your setup, you're not having to buy yet another thing for this to be able to work. So I think, again, there's a lot of reviewers out there. We all have our different opinions. We all have our different takes. A lot of people get a little animated when it comes to why is this USB-A to USB-C? Well, I think partially that's a very conscious decision and remembering that it may depend a lot on your setup and the types of ports that you already have on your machine. I do think that if they do just A to C, that's problematic in and of itself if they don't also include these adapters. And these don't cost that much, but it's an inconvenience. So for the manufacturer to take the time to put these in, I think is a really smart move. Just my 2 cents, if you were curious. So now let's take a look at the Elgato packaging. Like I said, the Contour Shuttle will open over at the main desk here after a bit. But I want to talk about these two components, which are very important to me. I mean, I have the low profile Elgato mic arm for my Wave DX, and I absolutely love it. It's really adjustable, it's fluid, and it's such a great addition to the desk. But this was one that I've been wanting for a long time, and this is the master mount. So the master mount is, you want to think of it this way, is kind of the jumping off point. So once you put this on your desk, then you can do a whole bunch of different things. It's very customizable. You can just mount a camera straight to it. You can extend it high, low, and it's got a lot of different features for you to be able to play around with. And it's just a lot of fun to use. You should always read the directions, folks. I know that I'm not one of those people that reads them all the time, but there's a little clicking mechanism. So when you undo this, you'll feel it click, and that extends that. And then the same here, you can undo and it'll click, but then it automatically locks until again you go back and click it. So just a learning curve on my end, absolutely nothing to do with Elgato. They are always premium, and I love their packaging. There's absolutely no plastic in this. It's all cardboard, and you all know I'm a sucker for cardboard. So it's all cardboard and uh, corrugated material that can be recycled. They have this. They have some cable clips here for you to use with this. And then this is, again, the standard. So you put this on, and then you have this one swivel clip that you can do a phone, you can do a boom mic, you can do a lot of different things with this. But what's even more impressive than that is that you can then combine this with other tools. So since this is the Master Mount L, you can then open up the other thing that Trey got me, which is the flex arm. And what the flex arm does is it allows you to then add to and extend the functionality of what's already here. So you get 1, 2, 3, 4 different components here to be able to add to this mix. And what's nice about that is, of course, the absolute flexibility of this. So this ball joint that you see here, you can replace that with something else. So you just twist this out until it becomes loose enough. And then any of these can then go in its place. And now you get even more functionality to be able to pair with this. And then each one of these can be a ball joint onto themselves. So you can make this longer, you can change the direction of it, gives you a lot of different functionality. So the idea being that not only can you go any way you can imagine here, but then you can add these larger components in and make it way taller. You can make it shorter. And then you have just all these different configurations and jumping off points that you can use to mount this back on. So if you've got a really crazy camera angle, which I have a lot that I have to do and can never get it right with my document camera, I could take and attach my face cam 2 to this, and then I could put it at like kind of that crazy downward but not straight down angle and really make this a fun time to video with. So I love the idea that this thing gives you so many options to do those different angled shots and use one camera. So I can just set the camera up for one specific take. And if I wanted to, I could take my halo camera and use that for the little bubble face shot, headshot, and then have this with that much more premium face cam 2, and I could put it down there, and so it's really zeroing in on what I want to show. So it opens up a whole world of possibilities for me to be able to use this in a really fun and cool way. And I could even add, again, we're looking into my phone right now because I don't usually record on my phone, but I could actually use this to do some of that same stuff with my phone. Now that we've gotten these larger components out of the box, what I'm going to do is I'm going to cut away and I'm going to get this stuff installed. So I'm going to get my lights set up, I'm going to get them plugged in, I'm going to get them arranged the way I want to. Then I'm going to put together and mount the Elgato Master Mount as well, and have some kind of a static shot set up and maybe mess with that a little bit. Then we'll take a quick tour of the desk so you can see the current setup. And then we'll jump in and we'll unbox the Contour. So that's where we're going to head next. I will see you there in just a minute. All right, everyone. So here we are with the Contour Shuttle Pro version 2. And as I mentioned early on, this is the original Contour Shuttle Express that I had. And I absolutely love this little thing. To be honest with you, it has a lot of good features. You have 2, 4, 5 buttons here, and then you have your dial and your smaller dial in the middle. So this is used to kind of advance fairly quickly. And then here you can get that fine motor control, and then you can customize all of the buttons to do different things. So it's really helpful when you're video editing. But Melissa and the kids bought me the Contour Shuttle Pro version 2. So let's take a look really quick at what's in this. And I opened it earlier as far as the tape, but I didn't actually take it out of the box. And I am recording this with my new setup, so please let me know what you think. But there's the box. Open it up. No muss, no fuss. It's right there. And we will pull this out, and you get your USB-A, and you get your warranty card, your instruction book manual, and it looks like some stickers. Oh, actually, stickers to label what you put the keys to. And so I'll get this hooked up, later. I'm not going to hook it up right now. This is just an unboxing to see what you get in the box and to show you all of the things that I've gotten this week. But take a look here, much more real estate. So you have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15 buttons on this one that you can customize to do all of the different functions here. And hold this up to the camera so you can see it. A lot of different options, obviously. And I do like that you can label it. That's one thing the Shuttle Express didn't allow you to do. And I'll walk through some more on this when I get it all set up and running. But the idea being that you get your cogwheel here, and boy, it's a very nice feel. And you get this to advance, and then this would allow you to do a lot of things just with a click. And it's very well spaced. So I'm looking forward to getting this up and running. I am surprised that it's a USB-A. As I mentioned earlier when I was talking about USB-C to USB-A. I'm not a huge stickler on that, but I do find that I am running out of ports. But I believe the Shuttle Express was USB-A, so I think it'll just swap out a 1-for-1. But it's just interesting that this is the newest model of this, and I still think best practice should be to have this, and if you are going to have it, to have an adapter or to have a C to an A adapter. I think either way you want to do that would be really helpful for the end user. But anyway, I just wanted to get this out. It's going to be a little bit bigger footprint on my desk. As you can see, again, we'll put them right next to each other. This is basically just this piece here with about those 2 or 3 buttons, but there's so many more. And it's going to be really fun to play with this and to get this working. I think it'll definitely help with my productivity and my organization on being able to get the videos edited faster and out faster for you all to see. And here we are with the final labeled product with the Contour Shuttle Pro V2. You can see here that I've put all of the different labels for the function keys. I've set everything for DaVinci Resolve, and I will definitely keep you all updated on how well it works. Okay, everyone, just as another quick reminder, this is the current setup before we go ahead and change everything, just to remind everybody of what we may be addressing here. So you'll see my low profile Elgato arm for the Wave DX right here. Obviously, the keyboard and mouse configuration is going to stay the same. I may or may not get rid of this side light here now that I have the other lights. You'll see right here the document camera, my Caesar document camera that I kind of homemade the way it works. I didn't tape, but I took some adhesive and made that be my top-down camera. Now that may stay and probably will for certain shots. The new Elgato arm to be able to do some kind of more unique shots. And then down here, obviously, you see the Contour Shuttle Express, and that I will be replacing with the new Shuttle, or the new Contour device, the Pro. And then, of course, my terminal, my Stream Deck Mini, and then chargers, my Anchor and Baseus docks there in the background. And then, of course, my monitor setups. And you'll notice I've got my Facecam 2 over here and my Yeti on a mechanical arm. But the best part of it is the fact that you can go through and attach things all the way around this. It's pretty good. I like it a lot. Hey everybody, welcome back. Thanks for hanging in there with me. I know this was a little bit different than usual, but I appreciate y'all being in here for all these different unboxings, kind of the Father's Day extravaganza of what all was going on. But let me know down in the comments, did you like this style of video? Was it fun? Was it interesting? I'll have added all of these products that I got for Father's Day into the Things I Use page. And until next time, keep on moving forward, and I will talk to you soon. Thank you. Bye.